Hello, and welcome to Learn Python 3 the Hard Way. This is exercise 3, and as I mentioned before, I'm not going to type all this code in again. Typing the code in is very straightforward. You're just copying. The point of these exercises, though, the copying is necessary so that you learn how to do this stuff and how to read it and write it. You know, it's like with any programming or any language, you have to learn the basics. So that's how you learn the basics. But you're also supposed to do study drills and apply what you learn. And the easiest thing to apply to what you've learned is to break stuff. You're going to break code so often, it's good to get used to it. So what I've got is I have Atom, and I'm also going to try out Visual Studio Code. I may do Visual Studio Code for the rest of the book. I started with Atom, though, because when I originally wrote the book, Atom was sort of the better one out there. But now I think maybe Visual Studio Code is a perfectly viable alternative. And on Windows, I think it might be a little better. So first, I'm going to start with Atom. Let's look at PowerShell, and let's see what it's got. So I've already copied the file over from my secret stash of Python files for the book. So I'm saving myself a lot of time. You should type them all in, though. Please don't copy and paste. And you see I've done an ls here, so we know what we've got. Let's pick some things to break. In the last exercise, we broke parentheses and we broke the quotes. So that's easy. That's a good start. But let's try getting rid of the comma. And remember, nothing is different. Nothing has changed. The only thing we're doing is we're adding math. It's very, very simple math. You see that there? All you're doing is it's the same thing. You're telling Python, run this script like that. And it just starts at the top and rolls through and does what you tell it. In fact, I'm going to come over here and just run this really quick. Let me just run it super fast. Yeah, just like that. Nothing fancy. And what you can see is it just runs it and it calculates the math, and the math makes no sense. It's not meant to have any sort of validity or anything like that. Okay, so once I've done that, now let's break this. As I said, Python starts at the top and you get syntax errors. So what happens if we get rid of this comma? Well, first, let's talk about what the comma means. The comma is sort of like you're giving it a list. You're telling print this, and then print this, and then print this. I could do that, and then that, and then that. And I'm telling Python with each comma, and then print this, and then print that. Very simple. The comma is used everywhere, so get used to understanding it means it's like in English. And then it's a list. Now, if we get rid of this comma, right, we save it. Think to yourself, what is Python going to do? Python's going to have a problem with this, isn't it? Because you're kind of assuming Python knows you mean print hens and then do this math and print the math. But without that comma, Python doesn't know what the and then is. So let's pop back. Let's try it out. So we're going to come back here. We're going to do this, run it again, and there we go. Invalid syntax. These are mostly the errors you're going to be making at this point. Okay, so we've got invalid syntax. Let's try this. Let's do comma there. Let's put that back. We fixed it. Let's mess up some of this math. What if we do that? So we know that this is just basic math you would do in grade school, I think, except for this one. This modulus is a little weird, and maybe we can get into that in a second. But if I do that, if you think in terms of math, what does that mean now? Well, kind of means gibberish. I don't know. What does it mean? It's like 100 minus 25. What does that mean? What's in between here? Now, if I did that, what would happen? Yeah, Python would print this math, and then it would print this math. In fact, let's go do that. Let's go mess with that. See what that does. Okay. There we go. See, let's see what we got. Yep, 75 and 3. This is what we changed right here. Whereas before, it printed out something totally different. And in fact, hey, give me a second here. Let's move this back over there. That's better. That's going to be easier. Okay, so once I've got that, if I do this, what am I going to get? So I've messed up the syntax. What that means is I've messed up how Python expects things to be formatted. So let's check it out. Run it. And there we go. That's right. Syntax error. Okay. Let's put that asterisk back. And let's try this out. Let's see. And now it's back. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Nothing fancy about that. Now let's try Visual Studio Code. So we can see we have the exact same file here. No big difference. It's got the same kind of layout. I have my files off to the left. I mean, there's really nothing too different about the two. So let's do the same kind of breaking over here. Let's see. Let's get this math messed up by doing that. Okay. And then run it. And there we go. Invalid syntax. Same exact thing. Now, here's the thing. Let's say I don't remember what character was there. I can do Control-Z, or if you're on OS X, Command-Z. And then I save it again. I come back. There we go. Control-Z undoes things. If you've been doing a lot of text editing, you should know that, but some people don't. Now, let's try some of these down here. These are equality. So what this is asking is you're kind of asking Python a question. Is 5 greater than -2? Well, that's true, right? So what happens if we change this around? Is 5 greater than -2? And see, Visual Studio Code is helping me out. It's telling me, no, that's not correct. Why are you doing that? So let's give it a shot. See what happens. Hey, it still ran. No idea what that did, but it still ran. So that would be a very evil error, because that kind of error is going to still look good, but run into problems later because the minus might mean something different than you think it means. Let's try some other ones. Let's do 2 equals. So this is 5 greater than or equal to -2? And that is false. And now we get a syntax error because you can't have equals equals. So let's do this. Oh yeah, actually we should probably investigate what happened. So is 5 greater than or equal to -2? Yeah, okay, that thing worked. See, that kind of thing would trip you up, this part here where we have that. I mean, technically it's supposed to be an error, but who knows? Let's try it. Interesting. So, your job is to figure out how many different ways can you break this or change it. Try changing it. Change up the math. Use this math to create your own little script to calculate whatever you want. Remember, the method that I use is I make you do some rote, where you type things in. I have you do a lot of memorization, and I also have you apply what you've done to different problems. So this script is pretty much the same as the other 2 scripts you've just done, except for now we're doing some math and we're doing an extra parameter. Nothing different. It starts at the top, goes to the bottom. So how many ways can you break this? Okay, that should be the end of this exercise. I'll see you at exercise 4. We're going to do a lot more of this. And remember, the videos are all about showing you how to break and modify these little scripts. So I'll see you at exercise 4.